spotlight on some of the details that you have to be good at, that Caitlin could cover up with her incredible skill, her range, the way she creates space.
The WNBA has never been more valuable, more visible, or more divided than it is right now. Every week, a new headline seems to ignite another debate. But this time, the conversation isn't just about points, rebounds, or championship dreams. It's about money. Massive endorsement money. Over the last year, Caitlin Clark has become one of the biggest commercial stars in all of sports. From sold-out arenas to record-breaking television ratings, her impact has reached far beyond the basketball court. Every major brand wants a piece of the phenomenon. Then another headline started making the rounds online. Some posts claimed that Nike had quietly put together a secret $1 billion deal connected to Clark. At the very same time, reports and social media discussions highlighted a separate endorsement involving Sophie Cunningham and Arby's, with figures that grabbed everyone's attention. So, what is actually true? Is Nike really preparing one of the biggest athlete partnerships in sports history? How much are these endorsement deals actually worth? And what do they reveal about the changing business of women's basketball? Today, we're separating facts from internet speculation. We'll break down what has been officially reported, what remains unconfirmed, why brands are investing so heavily in WNBA stars, and how endorsement money, not salaries, may be transforming the league faster than anyone imagined. Because the biggest battle in the WNBA may no longer be happening on the hard.
The W really is, you know what I mean? And like, I get it to a certain extent, and like every rookie coming into the league, that's how you're going to treat them. But there's just more.
It may be happening in the boardrooms of the world's biggest companies. The WNBA is experiencing something that many analysts believed would take another decade to achieve. Television ratings are climbing, arenas are selling out across the country, merchandise is disappearing from store shelves, and corporate sponsors are investing in women's basketball at levels that seemed impossible just a few years ago. At the center of this transformation is one name that has become impossible to ignore: Caitlin Clark. Long before she entered the professional ranks, Clark had already changed the way people looked at women's college basketball. Her deep three-pointers, fearless confidence, and ability to attract millions of viewers made every game feel like a national event. By the time she entered the WNBA, expectations were already sky-high. But what happened next surprised even industry experts. Instead of interest slowing down after the college season ended, it exploded. Every arena where Clark played experienced a noticeable increase in attendance. Television partners reported record-breaking audiences. Merchandise sales skyrocketed. Even fans who had never watched a WNBA game before suddenly found themselves following league schedules, buying jerseys, and debating every performance on social media. That kind of influence is exactly what global companies look for. In professional sports, endorsements are often worth far more than an athlete's playing salary. A superstar doesn't simply represent a team anymore, they become a global brand. Companies invest because they believe one athlete can sell shoes, apparel, beverages, technology, and countless other products. This is why every major endorsement involving Clark immediately becomes national news. Recently, social media exploded with one particular claim.
So in your career, you got to match up against other Nike hoopers. Do you have a favorite matchup?
You're gonna get me in trouble. Honestly, I'll just say because she's such an icon in our sport and has been in the game for so long. You know, getting to share the court with her was pretty fun, and you just see her competitive spirit, even though you're not on her team, you can just...
Sources, what's behind Caitlin Clark now that we're going to start getting some of her merchandise coming out, and fans are indeed excited. I miss my GOAT playing. Gonna go ham on this commercial. I thought it was a nice commercial myself. Where is her own shoe? We're waiting on that. We are waiting on that. Wow. Y'all must have a fever or something. Oh, what a great double play on words. What a great double.
According to viral posts, Nike was preparing or had secretly agreed to an astonishing $1 billion partnership involving Caitlin Clark. The numbers spread rapidly. YouTube creators discussed it. Sports pages repeated it. Fans debated it endlessly. Some celebrated it as proof that Clark had become the biggest marketing star in women's sports. Others questioned whether such a massive deal could even exist. But here's where things become important. Despite the enormous attention these claims received online, there has been no official confirmation from Nike or Clark's representatives that a secret $1 billion contract has been signed. Major financial agreements of that size typically generate official announcements, regulatory disclosures when applicable, or extensive reporting from established business and sports media.
Right. Well, this is a preseason game where Clark is not available, and yet probably
one that doesn't include 10 other people. All right, now let's go show you something else. So the shoe goes on sale today, or was it today? It sold out in minutes. And I want to show you something right here. Just a reminder, so you remember who the cash cow is, who the box office attraction is. You got to remember this. So remember, if you're not familiar, they have something called GOAT. GOAT is a secondhand market for sneakers. And this is their website. And if you see the shoes on here, it's right here. Caitlin Clark.
And our offense was clicking, but now we have to have a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much to the game. And so we have to adjust. And I think all of us just want it now. We know what the potential of this team can be, but we can't think about that. You really have to take day to day and stuff that worked here. We need to carry it over to tomorrow's game. We have a lot of games coming up, and I think like 7 days or whatnot. And so it's mentally making sure that we're good.
She's entered the WNBA. I know she's made a cameo here. She's made a cameo there. She was featured as part of this rollout here, featured as part of this rollout there. But is this our first official Caitlin Clark solo commercial since she has joined the WNBA? And as well, WNBA ratings from this past week in non-Caitlin Clark games on NBA TV have been
Nike situation. Now we know Caitlin Clark got some shoes that is set to be released tomorrow. That is a PE Kobe Bryant shoe, bruh. Yes, Caitlin Clark got her own signature PEs with Kobe Bryant and Nike. Now, one thing about it is there's another shoe.
That doesn't mean Clark isn't one of Nike's most valuable athletes. It simply means extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. What is publicly known is that Nike has viewed Clark as one of basketball's biggest long-term marketing opportunities. Even before her professional debut, experts believed that major apparel companies were competing aggressively for her endorsement rights. Why? Because Clark represents something brands rarely find. She appeals to longtime basketball fans. She attracts completely new audiences. She generates massive television ratings. She dominates online conversations. She sells merchandise. And perhaps most importantly, she connects with younger generations who consume sports differently than previous audiences. For companies spending hundreds of millions on advertising every year, that kind of influence is priceless. Every time Clark steps onto the court, millions of people aren't just watching basketball, they're watching the brands she wears. That's marketing power. Meanwhile, another story began circulating online involving Phoenix Mercury guard Sophie Cunningham. Unlike Clark, Cunningham built her reputation differently. She became known for her toughness, emotional intensity, willingness to defend teammates, and energetic personality. Whether fans loved her or criticized her, one thing remained true: people noticed her. In today's digital world, visibility matters. Companies don't only look at scoring averages anymore. They evaluate personality, social media engagement, fan interaction, media attention, brand recognition. Athletes who consistently generate conversation often become attractive partners for advertisers because attention itself has become valuable. Then reports began circulating about Cunningham signing an endorsement agreement connected to Arby's. The story quickly became another talking point across sports media. Fans started comparing endorsement opportunities. Some argued Clark deserved every major sponsorship available. Others believed more WNBA players should benefit from the league's growing popularity. The discussion rapidly shifted away from basketball itself. Instead, everyone wanted to talk about money. Why are companies suddenly investing so much in women's basketball? The answer is surprisingly simple: because the audience is finally there. For years, Corporations hesitated to invest heavily because they weren't convinced enough people were watching. Now the numbers tell a different story. National television audiences have increased dramatically. Attendance records continue falling. Social media engagement keeps growing. Corporate partners see measurable returns. For businesses, this isn't charity. It's investment. When brands spend millions on endorsements, they expect increased sales, stronger customer loyalty, and greater public visibility. If those goals are achieved, companies are willing to spend even more. This explains why endorsement discussions surrounding Clark have become so intense. Many analysts believe she represents a once-in-a-generation commercial opportunity. Her popularity reaches beyond basketball. Families watch her. Young athletes imitate her. Casual sports fans recognize her name. International audiences follow her career. That combination is incredibly rare. Think about athletes like Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, or Stephen Curry. Each became larger than their sport. Companies weren't simply paying for athletic performance. They were investing in cultural influence. Many marketing experts believe Clark has the potential to follow a similar path if her career continues developing successfully. Of course, reaching that level requires years of sustained excellence. Championships help. Awards help. Consistency helps. But commercial success also depends on personality, public image, and maintaining strong relationships with sponsors. That's why every endorsement story receives so much attention. Fans naturally wonder whether the financial side of professional sports is changing faster than the games themselves. Another reason these rumors spread so quickly is the modern social media environment. Today, one viral headline can reach millions of people within hours. Sometimes information is completely accurate. Sometimes details become exaggerated as they spread. Sometimes speculation gets repeated so often that people begin accepting it as fact. That's why separating confirmed reporting from internet rumors has become increasingly important. The same applies to sponsorship numbers. Athlete endorsement contracts often contain multiple components: guaranteed payments, performance bonuses, royalties, equity opportunities, marketing incentives, future extensions. Because of these complex structures, different reports sometimes quote different financial totals, leading to confusion among fans. One headline might describe the guaranteed portion. Another may estimate the maximum possible value if every incentive is achieved. Without official documentation, it's often impossible to know the complete financial picture. What remains beyond dispute, however, is the broader trend. Women's basketball has entered a completely different economic era. The conversation is no longer about whether companies should invest. It's about which companies will invest first and how much they're willing to spend. For players across the league, that's potentially life-changing. Young athletes entering college today can now realistically imagine building careers that include not only professional salaries, but also substantial endorsement income. That possibility barely existed a generation ago. As more brands enter the market, competition for star athletes will likely become even more intense. And that brings us to the biggest question of all. If endorsement money continues growing at this pace, could the business side of the WNBA eventually become just as important as the basketball itself? Because what happens next may reshape the future of women's sports in ways nobody could have predicted just a few years ago. What makes the current WNBA moment so unusual is that the league is growing in two different directions at the same time. On the court, teams are competing for playoff positioning, championships, and long-term success. Off the court, players are competing for something that may become even more valuable over the next decade: brand power. And no player represents that shift more dramatically than Caitlin Clark. When analysts talk about Clark's impact, they often focus on attendance numbers and television ratings. But executives inside the sports marketing world look at a different set of statistics. They want to know how many people follow her on social media, how often her highlights go viral, how many news articles mention her, how much merchandise she sells, and whether fans who watch her games eventually become customers for the brands associated with her. Those are the numbers that can turn an athlete from a star into a business empire. This is why the Nike rumors became such a massive story. Even though the specific claim of a secret $1 billion deal has not been confirmed, many people found the rumor believable for one reason: Clark's commercial influence already feels unusually large for a rookie. Consider the pattern. Before Clark arrives in a city, ticket prices rise. After the game, highlights dominate sports television. The next morning, social media is still arguing about her performance. That level of attention is incredibly difficult to buy through traditional advertising. Imagine being a shoe company. You could spend millions on commercials and hope people notice them. Or you could partner with an athlete who naturally generates millions of conversations every week. From a marketing perspective, the second option is far more efficient. That's why companies are watching Clark so closely. But the real story may be bigger than one player. For decades, women's basketball stars often earned far more from overseas contracts than from domestic endorsements. Players would spend the WNBA season in the United States and then travel abroad during the winter to increase their income. The endorsement market simply wasn't large enough to change the equation. Now, for the first time, that balance may be shifting. If major sponsors continue investing heavily in WNBA players, athletes may eventually earn more from partnerships, appearances, and licensing than from playing contracts alone. That's a revolutionary change. And it helps explain why the discussion around Sophie Cunningham became so interesting. Cunningham is not the league's leading scorer. She is not the face of a franchise in the same way Clark is. Yet, she has become a recognizable personality, and recognizable personalities are valuable. Fans remember players who show emotion, who defend teammates, who speak honestly, who create memorable moments. In the social media era, those qualities can be almost as important as statistics. When reports surfaced about Cunningham's partnership with Arby's, the internet immediately turned it into a comparison. People asked why one player was being linked to a potentially enormous shoe deal while another was signing with a fast food chain. But that comparison actually misses the point. Modern sports marketing is not a single ladder where every athlete competes for the same prize. It's a collection of different markets. A global athletic brand wants an athlete who can sell shoes worldwide. A restaurant chain may want someone with a fun, relatable personality who connects with everyday consumers. A technology company may want innovation and youth appeal. A luxury brand may want exclusivity and prestige. Different athletes fit different strategies. In fact, Cunningham signing a recognizable national brand partnership may be evidence that the WNBA's commercial growth is spreading beyond its biggest superstars. And that's potentially the most important development of all. Because if only one player receives major endorsements, the league remains dependent on a single phenomenon. But if multiple players become marketable in different ways, the entire ecosystem becomes stronger. Think about the NBA. LeBron James attracts one type of sponsor. Stephen Curry attracts another. Jimmy Butler another. Jason Tatum another. The league benefits because brands can find athletes who match their audience. The WNBA appears to be moving toward a similar model. Clark may become the global crossover star. Aya Wilson may represent elite performance and championship excellence. Angel Reese may attract fashion, lifestyle, and younger social media audiences. Sabrina Ionescu may appeal to basketball purists and performance brands. Cunningham may fit entertainment and personality-driven partnerships. That's a healthy sign for the league. Of course, this rapid growth has also created tension. Some players and fans worry that the media focuses too heavily on Clark. They argue that established stars built the league long before the current surge in attention arrived. Others believe the league should aggressively embrace the player who is bringing unprecedented audiences to the sport. Both perspectives contain some truth. Veteran players absolutely helped build the foundation. Clark has undeniably accelerated the growth. The challenge for the WNBA is turning this moment into long-term success rather than a temporary spike. And that's where endorsements become surprisingly important. Corporate partnerships do more than pay individual athletes. They signal confidence in the league's future. When a major company invests millions in a player, it is effectively betting that women's basketball will continue growing for years. Those bets encourage other companies to enter the market, which creates more opportunities for more players. It's a cycle. More viewers lead to more sponsors. More sponsors lead to more money. More money attracts more investment. More investment improves visibility. Improved visibility brings more viewers. The league has never had momentum quite like this. Another fascinating aspect of the Nike rumor is what it reveals about public expectations. 10 years ago, a $1 billion endorsement claim involving a WNBA player would have seemed absurd. Today, people debated whether it was real. That alone tells you how dramatically perceptions have changed. Fans now see women's basketball as a serious commercial business, not a niche product. And companies are behaving accordingly. Even if the exact numbers remain unknown, industry experts widely expect Clark to be among the highest-earning female athletes in endorsement income during her career. The question is not whether she will make substantial sponsorship money. The question is how large that number eventually becomes. Could it reach hundreds of millions over a lifetime? Possibly. Could it become one of the largest endorsement portfolios in women's sports history? Also possible. But those outcomes would depend on years of continued success, health, performance, and sustained public interest. That's why responsible reporting matters. A viral headline may generate clicks, but the real story is already extraordinary without exaggeration. The WNBA has become valuable enough that people are seriously discussing 9-figure and even speculative 10-figure endorsement possibilities. That is a massive change from where the league stood only a few years ago. And as more money flows into women's basketball, another question becomes impossible to avoid. What happens when endorsement income grows much faster than player salaries? Because the next battle in the WNBA may not be between teams. It may be between the league's exploding commercial value and the players who want a larger share of it. As endorsement money continues flowing into women's basketball, one reality becomes impossible to ignore. The business surrounding the WNBA is changing faster than almost anyone expected. Whether it's discussions surrounding Caitlin Clark's partnership with Nike, Sophie Cunningham's growing list of sponsors, or the increasing number of companies investing in league stars, one thing is becoming clear. Women's basketball is no longer being viewed as a niche market. It has become serious business. But with rapid growth comes new challenges. For years, WNBA players have openly discussed salary structures, revenue sharing, travel conditions, and overall investment in the league. Many veterans spent decades helping build the foundation that today's stars now stand on. They played in front of smaller crowds, accepted lower salaries than many believed they deserved, and continued promoting the sport even when national attention was limited. Now, thanks to growing fan interest, television audiences, and corporate investment, the league finds itself entering an entirely new financial era. The question is no longer whether the WNBA can grow. The question is how that growth will be managed. Every new sponsorship announcement creates excitement, but it also creates expectations. Fans begin wondering which player will land the next major endorsement. Companies begin evaluating which athletes best represent their brands. Young players entering the league realize that performance alone may not determine financial success. In today's sports world, visibility matters almost as much as statistics. That doesn't mean basketball has become less important. It means that basketball is only part of the equation. Modern athletes are expected to build personal brands. They interact with fans online. They participate in community events. They appear in commercials. They attend sponsor activations. They record promotional content. They become ambassadors for global companies. In many cases, an athlete's schedule away from the court can become almost as demanding as practices and games. Caitlin Clark represents this new reality perfectly. Every appearance attracts cameras. Every interview generates headlines. Every endorsement announcement creates another wave of discussion. That level of attention brings incredible opportunity, but it also creates enormous pressure. Every performance is analyzed. Every missed shot becomes a trending topic. Every victory receives national coverage. Every loss becomes part of a larger conversation. Very few athletes experience that level of scrutiny so early in their professional careers. Yet Clark has continued handling expectations while remaining one of the biggest attractions in professional basketball. That's one reason companies continue investing in her image. Brands aren't only buying talent. They're buying consistency. They're buying professionalism. They're buying someone who can represent their company on the biggest stages. The same principle applies across the league. Sophie Cunningham has developed a completely different public image. She's known for her energy, confidence, and willingness to compete with emotion. That personality makes her attractive to brands looking for authenticity rather than perfection. Different companies value different qualities. Some want championship winners. Some want inspirational stories. Some want social media engagement. Others simply want athletes who connect naturally with everyday consumers. That's why endorsement opportunities continue expanding. The WNBA now offers a variety of personalities capable of reaching different audiences. From a business perspective, that's exactly what sponsors want. Instead of relying on one superstar, companies can build campaigns around multiple athletes with unique identities. That benefits everyone involved. Players receive more opportunities. Teams receive additional exposure. Sponsors reach broader audiences. Fans discover new personalities across the league. It's a cycle that strengthens the sport as a whole. However, rapid commercial success also creates new debates among fans. Some believe media attention has become too focused on individual stars rather than team success. Others argue that star power has always driven professional sports. History suggests both viewpoints have merit. Michael Jordan transformed the NBA. Tiger Woods transformed golf. Serena Williams transformed tennis. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo transformed global football. Star athletes often introduce millions of new fans to a sport. Once those fans arrive, many eventually begin following entire leagues rather than just one player. That appears to be happening in the WNBA. Many viewers initially tuned in to watch Caitlin Clark. Over time, they also discovered Aya Wilson's dominance. They learned about Breanna Stewart's consistency. They watched Nafisa Collier's all-around brilliance. They followed Sabrina Ionescu's shooting ability. They became familiar with Angel Reese's rebounding and competitive spirit. The result is exactly what every sports league hopes to achieve. One superstar creates curiosity. A strong league creates loyalty. That's the difference between a temporary trend and long-term success. Corporate sponsors understand this better than anyone. They're not simply investing in individual players. They're investing in the future popularity of women's basketball. Every successful campaign encourages another company to join. Every new sponsor increases confidence. Every successful season makes future investments easier. That's why the current moment feels so significant. The WNBA isn't merely experiencing higher ratings. It's experiencing greater commercial credibility. Business leaders now view women's basketball as an investment rather than a risk. That shift could influence everything from television contracts to expansion franchises and future player salaries. It could also inspire the next generation of athletes. Young girls watching today's games are seeing something previous generations rarely experienced. They're watching female athletes become household names. They're seeing sold-out arenas. They're seeing national television coverage. They're seeing major endorsement campaigns. Most importantly, they're seeing professional basketball presented as a realistic career path. That cultural impact may ultimately become more valuable than any single sponsorship agreement. Because every new fan creates future opportunities. Every packed arena encourages additional investment. Every successful endorsement proves that women's sports deserve serious corporate attention. As for the headlines surrounding Nike and Arby's, one important lesson remains. In today's digital world, rumors spread incredibly fast. Exciting numbers generate millions of clicks. But not every viral claim is automatically true. Responsible fans should always distinguish between confirmed announcements and online speculation. The verified story is already remarkable. Caitlin Clark has become one of the most commercially influential athletes in basketball. Sophie Cunningham has continued expanding her visibility through personality-driven partnerships. The WNBA is attracting unprecedented corporate interest. Those facts alone demonstrate how dramatically the landscape has changed. Whether future endorsement deals reach tens of millions or eventually hundreds of millions, one thing appears increasingly likely. Women's basketball has entered a new era. An era where television ratings matter, where sponsorships matter, where personal brands matter, and where business decisions off the court can become almost as influential as performances on it. The biggest victory may not belong to one player or one company. It may belong to the entire sport. Because if the current momentum continues, future generations may look back on this period as the moment when women's basketball truly became one of the biggest commercial success stories in professional sports. And perhaps that's the real headline. Not whether one rumored contract reached $1 billion. Not whether one restaurant partnership made national news. But the fact that the WNBA has reached a point where those conversations are even possible. That, more than any rumor or viral headline, may be the strongest sign that the league's future has never looked brighter, and now we want to hear from you. Do you think Caitlin Clark is changing the business of women's basketball forever? Could she become one of the biggest endorsement stars in sports history? And what do you think about brands investing more money in WNBA players than ever before? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read as many of your comments as possible, and some of the best ones may even be featured in a future video. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth coverage of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Aya Wilson, Sophie Cunningham, and the biggest stories shaping women's basketball, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue bringing you well-researched, fact-based content every week. Also, don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our latest uploads. The world of women's basketball is changing fast, and we'll be here to cover every major development, every blockbuster endorsement, every record-breaking performance, and every story that matters. Finally, remember that rumors spread quickly online, but the most important stories are always the ones backed by reliable information. We'll continue separating verified facts from speculation so you can stay informed with confidence. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being part of this incredible community, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay informed, stay curious, and keep enjoying the game.